Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Knoll Zone. This is the Tarda Zone Talks, and I hope you're all doing very well indeed. So it begins, folks. Everything that I predicted when RTD was announced, and I made a prediction, and everything that I've predicted has come true. The media now have started to criticize fans who have came out against the Star Beast. I haven't given you my opinion on the episode yet. I will on Wednesday. So I'll be not giving that away about what I thought about the episode. But we've got to talk about this because I've already seen now, because the media again have instigated this. We have all of these gender cultists in the fandom now acting despicably against Doctor Who fans who dare to criticize their god that is RTD. All I will say is this on the episode itself. It's quite clear that the messaging was there and was hammered across your head. There is no doubt. And anybody that denies that is an absolute idiot, in my opinion. It was there. My issue with it is this, is that you bring in an actress like Ruth Madley, right? And then you bring in someone like Yasmin Finney. Now, two different things. Yeah, Ruth Madley is actually a great actress. But what I've seen of Yasmin Finney in that episode left a lot to be desired, to be quite honest with you. And again, it stores up and brings up this question. You know, why are you hiring people that just don't seem to be cut out for the role? Right, let's see. Before I go any further, let's see who's in the chat. So we got Peter Harrington, Bobby D75, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Real Super Doctor, the Irish Wheelstone Raider, and I love the old Shamrock there as well. Welcome. We've got Aeon in the chat as well. Don't know who that is, but welcome to you all. Obviously, if you do follow me on Twitter, you know, obviously, you know, we talk about stuff that's happening in Ireland. For anybody that is Irish and wants to hear my opinions on what's going on in the country, I will be starting up live streams now on Rumble. I have put up videos of protests that I've been at before. I was there during those riots and the looting, and it was absolutely disgraceful. Nobody's denying that. Never seen that like it in my life. But what I'll say is, if you're an Irish person and you're interested, go and follow me on my Rumble account, because I will be doing live streams there very, very soon. Toxic Losers Acting Up, says Bobby D75. Shame the pathetic shill media would rather attack fans rather than just do the simple review of the episode. By Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If there was no 13th Doctor, Chibnall era and Tennant came after Capaldi, would it be the same ratings, says Real Super Doctor. Now let's talk about the ratings, because I made a prediction here the night before the episode dropped, and I said, what I said exactly was, if it didn't get the same ratings as Jodie Whittaker's first episode, if it got around the 8 million mark, that would be considered a success, considering what happened the previous 4 years. But unfortunately, I was way off. I was way off this time. And if anybody's been following me during the Jodie Whittaker era, we were actually pretty nailed on with the ratings, because we started to be able to predict how many would drop off watching each week. It was amazing. You could actually literally, most YouTubers were spot on. But I got this absolutely wrong by 3.5 million. It barely made over 5 million viewers. Now, the usual people are spinning it because they said, well, it's the best launch drama for BBC or something in 5 years and all of this other rubbish. This is Doctor Who. Doctor Who should be beating the likes of Strictly Come Dancing, which beat it, by the way. Again, it's on a Saturday night as well, by the way, prime time. There is no excuse now. Whereas Chibs could make that excuse because he said it was on Sunday night, even though that excuse didn't wash with me. But RTD has no excuse. This is prime time Saturday night, and you got just over 5 million watching. And that was the overnights. And apparently there was an issue with Disney Plus in America. While the rest of the world was watching Doctor Who, apparently Disney Plus in America fell the ball and screwed up. So their so-called relaunch of Doctor Who didn't go as planned. Another thing that's come to light as well, because we covered this extensively, and we actually heard it coming from the horse's mouth that Disney had no creative input. Well, they do, because it's on Bad Wolf's website. They do have creative input. So all of this nonsense that you're saying continuing in Doctor Who is because Disney Plus have influence on the show now. This isn't actually BBC or Bad Wolf Doctor Who. We were all sorely mistaken. This is Disney Doctor Who. And the one that was on the ball about, and credit to him, I'm going to give him the credit as well, was Lee. Problem being, he said it that Disney would have creative, even when we were showing them videos and we were all here and they were saying the opposite. Lee was like, nah, there's something dodgy, fishy going on here. And he was right. He was right. But it started again in the fandom. And I haven't even opened my mouth about the episode yet, by the way. And, you know, as I've been telling you, so I've been actually getting, you know, everything's been grand on YouTube and all. I haven't been getting any threats or anything like that. I go in today because YouTube is blocking comments for some weird reason. And they're comments from people that I know. And I'm like, well, why are they blocking this comment? So I go in and then it says, if you want to view the hidden comments, right? The one with hateful bit or whatever it is. I click into it. Oh, you're nothing but a you know, how I have to be careful now because Cheryl told me you have to be careful now on YouTube. When they call you a but change the P to a T. Yeah. Someone actually said that you know, oh, the famine should have killed me. Right? I haven't even said anything about the episode yet. I haven't opened my mouth. I haven't even given my review yet, which is Wednesday. And I'm already getting abuse. I'm only back talking about Doctor Who and I'm already getting abuse. And I haven't said anything about the episode yet. All I've said is that the messaging is quite in your face, and it is. It's like a sledgehammer. That's all I've said. I haven't even critiqued the episode yet or the acting. Nothing. And I'm already getting abuse. I mean, this is what the media do. And they do it in every situation, you see. See, they put out types of articles like that because they know people, especially on the left, are going to read that. And then they'll think everything that they say is gospel. All anybody says aren't critical against RTD or Yasmin Finney's acting, they're transphobic and all of this other nonsense that they come out with. Right? And it's clear that the review that we put up that people were criticising from the BBC culture, apparently it was a freelance journalist. But that freelance journalist has actually, his review is actually spot on. Without talking about the episode or giving out away of what I feel, his review is spot on. It's spot on. And we have a huge problem now with this show moving forward. And be under no illusion to all of you fans out there. I mean, I shouldn't even use that term. You aren't fans. I love it. The Radio Times and other articles. Oh, fans were crying over David Tennant's reaction when he saw the TARDIS. I'm a fan. I wasn't crying. I had a big smile on my face. But the over-the-top reaction from the press is just, it's Jodie Whittaker's era all over again. It's Jodie Whittaker's era all over again. They're just not going to tell the truth about this, right? They're all on board with the message. So any criticism at all is a no-no. I think it's worth pointing out that the debut episode for every new Doctor era has been 8+ million overnight viewers every single time and is usually the highest rating. Yeah, absolutely spot on. But look, do you know what? The media will ignore that. Oh, it was the best drama launch in 5 years. Oh, what they do that day? This is Doctor fucking Who. Should be the highest rated show that just have on the fucking channel. End the fucking story. And this is what I hate. Over the years, they've gotten fans to lower their expectations. Right? Lower their expectations. No, we're not lowering our expectations anymore. We're not lowering our expectations anymore. Right? You're talking about a universe. Right? Next week's episode. Right? This week's what? Just over 5 million. 5.2 or 5.8 million, whatever it was, 50-8, whatever it was, right? If you think that it's going to get more than that next week, it's going to get less. The ratings are going to drop straight away. It's fucked already before it's even left the gate. And why? Because RTD felt that the message had to be hammered across your head. And there are other issues, right, which I will talk about. But I did enjoy some stuff with that episode, and I will talk about that as well. I'm going to be balanced about this, and I am. And I know people have their own opinions everywhere, left, right, and centre. But I'll be balanced because there were things I did like in the episode. I'm not going to lie. Sure, me reaction will show that. There were things that I did like, and I won't sit here and lie and say that I didn't like it. But did the messaging? I tell you, RTD has fouled the ball. And next week's episode, or this week's, whenever, this stage, when it drops, if you think it's going to get over, if you think you're going to get more people watching, it's not happening. We've seen this downward trend before, and it's going to continue. You know, this isn't Doctor Who, by the way. It's Disney Doctor Who. And we've got to make the distinction because there is a real distinction here. It's definitely Disney. Disney have their grubby hands all over this. Even the title sequence. You even seen it with the whole Whoniverse thing at the start and all of that. It's Disney. It's Disney, man. Don't get me wrong. I do like the title sequence. Not going to lie. I mean, it's probably the best title sequence I'd say. I have to be honest. I think it's up there as one of the best. I still love the classics and I'll never dismiss the classics. But that new title sequence, seeing the TARDIS go through the space dust and all of that was actually really impressive. But it's done. It actually is. It's actually done. They don't realize. And now these fans are coming and attacking. And you're telling us to leave. You can't afford for us to go. You can't afford for us to go. If we go right now, it's game over. Now, this is something that gives me a bit of a laugh, right? So do you remember when I called everybody to boycott and I ended up doing it on my own and literally crippling this channel to do it? Now everybody's calling for a boycott. Now everybody's calling for a boycott. You should have called for the boycott when I called for the boycott. Where everybody said, oh yeah, we have you our back. Yeah. The only one that had me back was Gobby. Stayed true to it as well, he did. Right? The Gobster. Give him a shout out there because he was the only one. Right now everybody's calling for a boycott. It's too fucking late. It's too late. The boycott should have happened as soon as RTD started opening his mouth and being disrespectful to fans. That's when the boycott should have happened. That's when I did it, along with the Gobster and a couple of others. But then it was a losing battle because everybody, I'm going to tune in and watch. So I said, fuck it, if they're all going to do it. So don't call for a boycott now. The boycott is too late. They've already filmed one season, shoot his fourth season. They're already started on the second one. It's too fucking late. Too late. I started the boycott before they even start fucking filming the fourth season. And everybody was saying, oh, stop, don't stop talking about Doctor Who. And I said, we need to boycott if we want changes here. And as I said, the Gobster was the only one that stuck with me throughout the whole lot. And everybody slowly but surely, no, we'll watch. And me and Gobster were just there. Do you know what? We're getting nowhere with this. Just the two of us. And now everybody wants to boycott now. It's too fucking late. It's too fucking late for any boycott now. Right? For the next 2 years now, guys, we will have to sit through while they drag our show through the mud. And trust me, if you think the first episode was bad, Shooty's era is it's not what Shooty deserved. But yeah, we said it. You know, the 60th special will give you an indicator of where we're going in the future with this show. Yeah, it might be cancelled in a few years, Melon Rattler. I love that. But the thing about it is, it's going to be dragged through the mud for the next couple of years. And as a Doctor Who fan, that's heartbreaking. It doesn't deserve that. The people behind it now should just, do the right thing and just shelve it. Give it a break. But it won't be. It's going to be dragged through. And then we're going to get all these spin-offs. So it's going to go the Disney route. And I remember I always said that the main show had to be on solid foundations or it'd collapse. Well, over 5 million and just over 5 million is not a good start no matter which way they spin it. And next week's episode, after the negative reaction, and trust me, see, what the other side don't realise is that the negative reaction had an impact the last time during the Whittaker era. And he's ignored it. And he's went on the defensive all the time. He can't do that this time. It's game over. I mean, if he doubles down next week, I remember Jinx Monsoon's to come. So we know what's coming. We know what's coming. This is going to get worse. And he should have just stuck to writing and developing characters. I mean, there was a lot of potential. I mean, Jesus, when I think about there was some laugh out loud moments, and I actually did laugh at some moments, and I enjoyed the majority of it. It was just when the messaging came in, it distracted away from everything that they just never fucking learn. And I will talk about that more on Wednesday. Because I do have a problem if you're going to bring in the likes of Yasmin Finney and Ruth Madley because you want to show how diverse the show is, which is fine, fair enough, right? But when you bring them in and then, you know, they're kind of like spare parts, Yasmin Finney at the end, right? Ruth Madley, you bring in a great actress like that, and then, like, we all know that she's in a wheelchair, right? And then the thing about it is, then you have stupid little funny darts popping out of her fucking wheelchair, like, instead of just giving her a fucking gun or something. Like, degrading people in wheelchairs. And he's already done that with Davros. Like, people wake fucking up what he's doing here. This is not how you fucking do it. Root Madley should have had a bigger part. I don't want to get into it now. See, I'm starting to get into it. I don't want to get into it. I'll get into it on Wednesday. But that's my issues on all of this fucking crap that happened in the Star Beast. The shooty battles and all of that. I didn't mind any of that, right? I didn't mind any of that. I actually enjoyed it. There were some moments that I really did enjoy. I'm not going to lie. But it's all of that other shite that ruined it from being an average episode, in my opinion, to being a very good episode. I don't think it was the best start for RTE either, if I'm quite honest, but I'll get into that on Wednesday. It was the blazing messaging too much in your face, sorry, but yeah, Yasmin Finney is not good enough actor for this part. I mean, I'll get into it, but it just felt like a spare part. None of the other UNS scientific advisors were armed. Why Root Madley? Bit condescending to say the least. What, from me or from RTD? I mean, having arrows shoot out of our wheelchair, I think, is a little bit condescending. And then people make the point, well, if you're going to put like darts on the side of our wheelchair, then why isn't she in an electric wheelchair then with all the gadgets, and then it'd make more fucking sense. From RTD. You're right, Jay. We know this is the problem we have. People think we're again. That's the problem we have. It's condescending. It's disrespectful. It's not done with any care or attention. And it shows. But John Jackrabbit is handing in his TARDIS keys. He's had enough, and he grew up with the RTD era. So for people like John Jackrabbit, it's actually a difficult time to be a Doctor Who fan. I tuned in live for the Star Beast on Disney Plus. For other specials, I'll tune in later for the Wilf bits, if any. Well, it's interesting that you bring up Wilf and Bernard Cribbins, because in the scenes that we saw, he was being wheeled around by David Tennant, and he was filming the scenes that we saw where the Doctor bumps into Donna for the first time. And they make reference to go to see him in the end. I think they may have pulled his cameos, if is what I'm reading from, by seeing what they did. I don't know if he's actually in this. I think they may have took him out, may have been family request, which we could understand. But yeah, when the Doctor did talk about Wilf, you know, moments like that, I did enjoy. That's what I'm saying. I mean, apart from all the messaging, I mean, it's still a bang average episode. I don't think it was anything special. I mean, they did kind of harp back on the, you know, even the music had elements of the Fires of Pompeii and other Series 4 music, Series 3 music, but intertwined with new music. Like, it was definitely a nostalgia fest. But it'll be interesting to see. Well, we'll never find out who or how many watched it on Disney, though, will we? Be interested to see if it got a bigger audience. I mean, it is in 62 different countries, Disney Plus. So I'll be interested to see what the viewership was like. Well, I mean, they can compile all of that data, but they never do because they don't want us to know how good or bad it actually did, you know. I went into this really wanting to like it before anyone says anything, and the wokeness aside, the acting was terrible, the story was crap, and the overall quality was nothing like I remember it in 2008. I mean, I did touch on it during me watch along that there was something about David Tennant's performance that I just couldn't put my finger on, but was just a little bit off. The only one that seemed to be the one that it was like they never left was Catherine Tate. Actually, she for her, for me, she was probably the best bit of acting in that whole episode. It's just a pity that RTD used her then to kind of berate the Doctor on a few occasions, which I'll get into on Wednesday. We're back to square one, except it's going to be worse this time round. And just one more thing I just want to add. This whole thing with beep the meep, everybody trying to justify the pronouns. Well, I'm going to sever our argument once and for all here. Okay? You keep banging on about how the Doctor is an alien, can change gender and all of this other rubbish that he's come up with, right? So I'm going to say something here. Beep the meep is an alien. An alien. Doesn't live on planet Earth. Now, on planet Earth right now, we've got all of you lunatics that go with the gender ideology and all of that, right? But to assume that beep the meep or the meeps, whatever you want to call them, use pronouns. Yeah, I got you. Using pronouns. They shouldn't be using pronouns. They're alien. See, anybody using that, because I've seen it, anybody using that, you don't have a leg to stand on. Okay? The bottom line is Beep the Meep is a fucking alien, right? And the fact that it was suggested to the Doctor that Beep the Meep might have pronouns is absolutely ridiculous. This is just RTD, and this is the blatant pandering that I'm talking about, and I will be criticising on Wednesday, right? Because yous are idiots. It's a sci-fi show. Listen, if you want a show full of trans characters and LGBTQ plus characters, and you want the message hammered across our heads, go and make shows that suit your needs. This is a sci-fi show. This is supposed to be about a madman in a blue box. This is Doctor Who, not Gender Who, right? It's Doctor fucking Who, right? Simple as that. Sick of all of this fucking nonsense, right? And then everybody, oh, but RTD did it in the past and he's had no problem doing it. Yeah, he did. But he did it a lot better than he's doing it now, isn't he? Right? It's quite funny because he's a bit of a hypocrite because he was giving out about Disney, saying how they were doing all of this messaging and not really caring about the characters and development and all of this. And then he goes and does this with Doctor Who. Because now Disney are in there. So basically what he has done, which makes this situation even worse, is he sold out to Disney. Because we know he doesn't feel like that. He has called this shit out before. So he's either a hypocrite or a sellout. So he can pick one. I think he's both. I think he just panders when he feels like it, and as we're seeing it now. That's where we are. We'll see. But apparently, according to IMDb, Bernard will appear in The Giggle. So, yeah, The Giggle, which is the last one, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Yeah, The Giggle's the last one, I think. Well, yeah, yeah, I me live reaction to the end of that. Yeah, it's that last 10 minutes is an absolute nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare, and the fact that the media are lapping it up and don't care that a 60-year-old franchise is actually being chucked down the toilet just shows you how much they actually care about it. Remember, this is a 60-year-old franchise that's getting flushed down the toilet right now. And all the newspapers and all of these so-called fans want to talk about is how everybody is transphobic and blah blah. Oh, this show's not for you anymore. It's a turf's worst nightmare and all of this other crap that they come out with. Like, you don't care about Doctor Who. That's what the heartbreaking thing about it is, and the media are facilitating you. And now RTD is facilitating this. And the thing about it is RTD is supposed to be a fan of Doctor Who, just like Chris Chibnall was supposed to be a fan of Doctor Who. And that's what's even worse about this situation. He was the man that was supposed to come back and save this show. Rescue mission. Rescue mission, me fucking arse. Seriously, man. Just just don't call it Doctor Who, right? You want to continue to do this, Grant. Get rid of the police box. Get rid of everything else that makes that show Doctor Who, right? And call it Gender Who. And then we'll be fine, right? Because it ain't no fucking Doctor Who. Disney fucking Who. Absolutely disgraceful. I don't really care about the cameos, JFR. I don't really care because I'm pretty sure they'll be used. Because remember, some of these classic casts that are coming back are down with the message. So don't hold out any hopes that they're gonna get special treatment. They're down with the message with David Tennant. There's something just dropped in your bedroom. I bet Moffat loves this show. I don't know. I doubt it because he did try to fight a lot of it off, but he had to concede. And what else have we got? I'm just waiting for the missus to leave because she hasn't seen it, so I don't want to say any more while she's in the room. So we're leaving the room right now. Good luck to you. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for her because it's not fair. See, unlike other people, I don't want to spoil it for her. I let her. She's going into watch it herself with an open mind. So when I'm speaking about her here, she's not here because I don't want to influence her in any way. Because I believe she'll judge it herself, and that's the way it should be. Anyway, let's get back to this. The more I think about the episode, the more I dislike it. Tennant looked bored, so sad to see this show be absolutely destroyed for no reason whatsoever. As I said, I'm gonna watch it twice more. Because I watched it once with the watch along, and the first viewing is kind of, because I was doing a watch along, obviously I was reading the chat as well. So the second one I will be watching without any distraction. And then the third time, then I'll watch it. I'll be taking down my notes, but I don't really need to take down my notes because they're already all here already. I mean, I already know what I'm going to talk about and what the other panelists are going to talk about. I mean, it's the same thing that we're all being talking about. Gobster's in the chat, who I gave credit to. As I said earlier on, he was the only one that stood by me when we did that boycott. I know some of you in the chat said that you supported us and all that, but I'm talking about YouTubers. Myself and Gobster stuck to it until we saw everybody slowly but changed our mind. And now everybody's calling for a boycott. And as I said, and Gobby will probably agree with me here, it's too late for a fucking boycott now. You should have boycotted when me and him called for the boycott. But nobody wanted the boycott. Because you were all saying, no. Doesn't matter anyway, it's done. Now we've all got to sit back and watch the show be dragged through the mud now for 2 years. So that's it. So the time for boycotts, it's over anyway. The ratings are going to plummet anyway. We don't need to boycott Arton. The point is, it should have been boycotted before RTD wrote Arton down on paper when we knew he was coming back, just to make sure that he do right by the show. But as soon as he opened his mouth and did the first interview, that's when everybody jumped on a boycott. But you didn't. You wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Right? And I did that first with the BAFTA interview. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but it was when the second time then he made that outburst at that award ceremony where he was talking about, and don't get me wrong, we all at the time agreed with him, but it wasn't the right place to do it or the right time to do it. And then he started getting all snotty and ratty with everybody. And then myself and Gobster said, that's it, enough. We boycotted and nobody else would join us. And I'm saying it now because I don't give a shit anymore, because this is just as much as their fault as the fans the so-called fans that are pushing you out, right? Everybody should have listened. It's over now, right? Here's the sad thing, right? Said the show had to be on solid foundation. It's not going to be, and then they're going to do all of these spin-offs. And you know what's going to probably happen? And this is where Doctor Who will be on its knees, right? When one of those spin-off shows gets higher ratings than the actual main show, that'll be the end of Doctor Who. And what a fucking embarrassment. An embarrassment it will be. Right? That's what you're facing. All because the showrunner just couldn't keep his mouth shut, kept pandering to everyone. I said that his biggest downfall will be to try pander to everybody, and that's what he's tried to do. And he's failed fucking badly. And the reason why he's failed badly is because the left that he's pandering to, he's done it very badly. He brings in characters and then they're not you. I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful. But, we'll see what happens on the next episode. But if it ends up with lower ratings again, then it is on a spiral. It's not going to come out of this spiral. And even the Christmas episode with Shooty, yeah, you might regain some of the viewers for the Christmas special. But if that Christmas special is not top notch, that's it. When Shooty's era starts, you've already crippled Shooty anyway now. You've already given him an uphill task because of this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But they won't listen because we're all racist, bigots, transphobes apparently now. You know, you can't criticize nothing. Nothing. I've heard a rumor that another big cannon destroyer is coming. Well, actually, talking about rumors, I've got one for you. So I've got this off. Might as well give him credit. Is he in the chat there first? Let me see. Let me see. Probably not in the chat, but if he's not, sure, I've already spoke to him. But so I sent this from unknown 289, and apparently this is on. This is a Reddit leak, right? Now I don't know when this leak was dropped, right? But a lot of it, some of it has happened. Some of it apparently is to come, and some of the information is. I'll read it. Anyway, here we go. The Doctor has to give Donna her memories back to stop the meat from destroying London. Donna dies, but doesn't because her daughter inherited half of the Metacrisis power. There are two Doctors by the end of the giggle because the Doctor boy regenerated, which was supposed to be a myth according to the 14th. The second special, Wild Blue Yonder, happens because in the end of the special, Donna spills coffee on the TARDIS console, causing it to malfunction. Rose Tyler doesn't show up in anything other than the previously 15 years ago segment at the start of the first special, which never happened, so that bit is a lie. The Meep didn't crash it on purpose. Rose is non-binary and uses the she-they pronouns. The reason she is kind of is because the Doctor, as the Doctor, is also he, she, or depending on regeneration. Rose gets annoyed at the Doctor for assuming Meep is a he. The Toy Maker says he's played one game with the previous Doctor, the second with the 14th. Now he must play with the next Doctor. As there are 14 regenerations, he finds he hasn't changed, but there is a 15th Doctor next to him. This is where what the hell line comes from. So when Shooty says, what the hell is going on here? Well, apparently it's the fact that somehow Shooty's Doctor has regenerated, but David Tennant's Doctor is still there. I'll read on now. There's 4 Doctors. Fucking four. That includes the Donna Rose version, whatever the fuck. Anyway, where is it there, right? So next to him says, what the hell is going on here? Later, they both in unison say, I challenge you in the game. The Toy Maker is annoyed because apparently that's cheating. There are 2 of you, and the 14 says, but according to the rules, you can't say no. He accepts the challenge. Together, they managed to win in the game, and the 14 Doctor's prize was to banish the Toy Maker from existence. After the game, the 14th Doctor, the 15th Doctor, Donna and Mel discussed the consequences of their adventures, mentioning Sarah Jane, Adric, River Song. Donna tells the Doctors, why don't they have to take a break and enjoy the simpler life? Then, when the 15th Doctor remembers he hasn't said what the prize would be, a second TARDIS. Now the 14th Doctor stays behind while the 15th flies off in his TARDIS. So basically, if that's true, we have a meta-crisis Doctor in a parallel universe, which is David Tennant. Now David Tennant's Doctor, because, you know, Donna has been saying to him, why don't you stay with us, you know, and have adventures here and all this bollocks. So apparently RTD's going to make that happen because he's going to split the two Doctors in half. And basically, David Tennant's Doctor is going to have his own TARDIS, stay in the Earth. He's going to go off, fly into time and space. What's the fucking point? So does that mean that David Tennant is getting his own spin-off, just the Doctor's Earth Adventures or something? Now, this could be all bullshit, but it is mixed with half-truths and truths and stuff like that. Now, apparently that's a Reddit leak, right? This is a leak apparently that nobody could find, but Unknown sent it to me. That's what he said. I'm just quoting his words, right? So there you go. If that's the case, there's going to be Doctors left, right, and fucking centre. He might as well bring back the Fugitive Doctor and the War Doctor while he's fucking at it as well. Why not? You know what I mean? If you're going to do the whole shebang, you might as well fucking bring them all back. What about it? You know what I mean? Anyway. So who's the real Doctor then? Oh. No, but that was the book. I know you were saying disinformation, me thinks, but if you look into it and then you see what happened with Rose and Donna and the whole end of that, this actually all makes sense. It makes sense, but it shouldn't be part of Doctor Who because the message is just... So basically, it looks like, yeah, that there's not really a regeneration. So basically, what we're seeing between Donna and Rose with the regeneration energy coming out of them, that's what is probably going to happen to Tennant's Doctor. And then Shooty is just going to... That's why it explains the clothes. It explains why David Tennant's Doctor regenerated into the clothes. I mean, it's dumb. I mean, it's the dumbest fucking thing. To get a gender message across, I mean, it's dumb. But... And Gobstar is right. That happens. That breaks the whole regeneration canon. Wide open. Wide open. He's literally changing regeneration canon. Now, people say, but Moffat did it. Yeah, but Moffat did it, but he didn't destroy. He added. And RTD would, if he had stayed on long enough, would probably have to find a way to solve the issue of this whole regeneration cycle. This whole thing sorts it out now. Oh, no way! Oh, he did say Flux and all would be referenced in the next episode. I'm telling you. That leak does sound a bit far-fetched. But when you add it all up, and this could be someone's just opinion, and it's being banded around as a leak, but that some of that stuff in there actually makes sense. But as I always say, right, it's on Reddit, right? So you can't really take anything on Reddit to 100% gospel here, right? Reddit has a habit, and we have people out there that have a habit that run YouTube channels to get their friends to go onto Reddit to put out fake leaks so then they can report on it and build up the fucking views of their channel. We see that all over. during the Jodie Whittaker era. They do it quite a lot. So I wouldn't be taking it as gospel. To be quite honest with you, it's probably a pile of shit. But on the other hand, if it's fucking true, well, we'll find out soon enough, won't we? Because we don't have long. We don't have long, so we'll fucking find out soon enough, I tell you. I tell you something, if that actually does, see if that rumor happens, right? Then yeah, it's over for Doctor Who. It's forget about your 5 fucking million viewers and blowing smoke up their asses, right? If this happens, you won't even have fucking 1 million people tune in for Shooty's fucking Christmas special. And don't be fucking under any illusions that won't happen. If this shit happens, fans are not going to put it. I'm telling you now, right? If you think the backlash during the Chibnall era will be bad, you ain't seen fucking nothing yet, right? That's no way. Don't you do not touch. Hey, listen, the Timeless Child touched all of that shit, and you seen what happened. It destroyed the show. He thinks he could do this. It's not boding well for this show at all, is it? Jesus fuck, we're fucked. Doctor Who is completely screwed. And you know what? I might be laughing, but for the next 2 years at least, this show is going to be dragged through the mud. A franchise that I've grown up all my life watching. For a franchise that people have been watching longer than me as well. Like, do you know what I mean? They have to watch their show. The thing that made them feel great as a kid, growing up, scared them, entertained them. They're going to have to watch this show being dragged through the mud. And you know what the funny thing is? I've noticed all of these Disney Plus YouTubers, you know, that been doing all the Star Wars shows, watching Doctor Who for the first time, and that's who it's for. It's for these idiots that haven't got a clue. That's why they've been doing this whole Doctor Who for dummies. Oh, remember that this is what happened in Doctor Who at such a time. This is how regeneration works. This is how Donna and the Doctor met each other and all of this. Blah, 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 blah. Doctor Who for dummies. It is all Disney driven, yeah. And there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can hope for is that once it comes out of this nightmare, it's cancelled. It'll be sad, but it's the only thing that has to happen now. Yeah, but I do agree with you. The show isn't for us, but it should be. Should be for it. No, I'm sick of that. I've used this term many times myself, actually, and we're wrong. Doctor Who isn't for everybody, right? Just like Star Wars and Star Trek isn't for everybody. I'm sick of all of this rhetoric. It's for everybody. No, it's not. Right? Okay, it's not for the masses. They have their own shit that they like. Right? That's the problem with sci-fi nowadays. You want us to make it fashionable to everybody. I don't give a fuck if it's fashionable. Right? I'm proud to be a geek and a nerd. Right? I don't want these people coming in thinking that, you know what I mean, pretending, grifting their way through. No. Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, they're not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And I'm sick, and we should stop actually saying that. Right? And I've been accused of doing it as well. It's not for everybody. Never has been, and it never will be. Right? It's a specific need. It's sci-fi. Right? Everybody has their own genres that they like. Right? But for some weird reason, they want to make sci-fi more mainstream to the masses. And what happens then? It dilutes our fucking IP, our shows, our characters, for the masses, right? It's not for everybody. I'm sick of this bullshit, right? They're not. Same with comic books. They're not for everybody, right? There was a certain fucking gender that bought those magazines. Whether you fucking like it or not, that's a fact, right? It wasn't for everybody. And this is why the comic book industry is failing as well, because you try to make it for everybody. It's not for everybody. You cater to the people that it is for. The people that have been loyal to you. The people that have spent their hard-earned cash on the show. That's who you reward. Right? It's as simple as that. It's not fucking rocket science here. And this is the problem with all of these things. And Hollywood as well. You need to wise up. Not everything's for everybody. Right? This is why, as your job, as the industry that you are, it's your job to tailor to everybody. But not using one particular show to do it. Right? You go out and create new franchises and new shows and new movies and all of this other stuff. Right? You don't be using already established franchises that have a history of what they have. And then you come in, you put all this nonsense into it and you expect it because it has the background that it has, that somehow it's going to survive on name out. It's not going to survive. None of these franchises' names mean anymore. Because you've diluted them. The bottom line is this. You just need to stop with this whole way of thinking that sci-fi is for everybody. Right? That'd be like saying, well, female romance novels, all of those Mills and Boon, oh, they're for men. Could you imagine the uproar? Fuck's sake, will you give it a fucking break, man? Fucking absolutely ridiculous what's going on in the industry. They just haven't learned their lessons. You think RTD watching the shit show for the last 5 years would actually understand where we're coming from and actually make a proper effort to make sure it doesn't happen again? But instead, he's went from criticizing the way people deliver the message to delivering that message in the exact same way. I just don't get it. And you know, they made the comment that Doctor Who's not for kids and all of that. He knew exactly what he was saying when they made that comment, because they know kids will watch it. And that's exactly what they want to do. Right? As I said, if you want to talk about transgender people and the issues that transgender people face, that's fine. Go ahead. But don't do it in Doctor Who. It has no place in Doctor Who. It's a sci-fi show. It's about a madman in a blue box that saves civilizations, goes on adventures with his companions, rescues, does all sorts. Right? It's not Gender Who. It's Doctor Who. Okay? So if you want shows that highlight the issues that trans people and all of the other victimized groups out there that you say that there are, well, then create shows, then brand new programs. But you won't. You want to take the lazy way out by using already established franchises. And then when you do that, then you expect the fans of those franchises that have been following this show religiously for decades to basically go along with the plan yous have. Well, get fucked is what I say, because we had the Chris Chibnall era and we made it abundantly clear where we stood. Right? There's no place for this shit in Doctor Who. So, RTD, the message is simple, and the message should be clear to you after 2 bits of nonsense that you've got yourself into with Davros Gate and now with this. The message is clear. you continue down this path, you're going to get lower ratings than the Chibnall era. And I never thought I'd actually say that. And that's where you're heading. So I know you've already wrote the 4th season of Shooties. I just hope you bear that in mind when you are actually filming that. Because if it's worse to come, by the time Shooty gets his 2nd season, it's dead. It's already dead in the water anyway, I believe, after just, you know, the nonsense that came before the episode anyway. But any chances of this show surviving, you've just basically put an end to it. And the fact that you sold out to Disney, and the fact that the people that did those interviews and spoke on camera and told us that Disney were only distributing it, you lied to the Doctor Who fans as well. You lied to the Doctor Who fans, because when you did that press conference, we did it live here with a panel. And you said it. They had distributing rights only. And now we find out that they actually got creative input. So you sold out. And it's funny, this is the same man that was criticising Disney. And now he's working for them. Not with them, for them. Because it all explains now the cash injection, right? Trust me, he's working for them. Just making it out of Bad Wolf Studios. Yeah. They've got little. This is Disney. Disney gender who do tiddlywinks the 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 tiddlywinks tiddlywinks probably that's what I'm gonna call it now. Tiddlywinks, 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 tiddlywinks. Compliments of Ballstreck. Tiddlywinks. Anyway, the Star Beast was originally in a Marvel comic. Disney now own Marvel. Any link? Yeah, absolutely, and there'll be more. There'll be more. Trust me. I think Goofy will be the next K9. No. At this stage, anything could happen. Do you know what? Oh, no, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Right, I'll make a prediction. Give it 2 or 3 years from now. Right, I'm only saying 2 or 3, but it could be a lot sooner. I guarantee it, there'll be a crossover with a Star Wars show and Doctor Who. Guaranteed. Right? It'll be one of them. It'll be either Star Wars or some other IP that they own. And they'll do a crossover. I shit you not. That's what I see happening here. Of course, you know what crossover I would like to see. If there ever was a crossover to happen, that's the only crossover that should happen. Woo. Okay, Dob, do you break a hip or something? Someone asked how Ted was. Yeah, Ted is finally, whatever was wrong with him, he's over. He's back to his usual moany ass sparking self. Yes. Well, on Wednesday, I'm going to be reviewing the episode, so with a panel. So as I said, if you want to join me At 8 o'clock. We start at 8 because Manchester United are on. I'll be streaming before on my other channel, and then I'll be literally jumping from that channel straight over to start the other stream straight away. So yeah, join me at 8 o'clock. So if you want to be part of that, send me a DM. Say you want to be part of the stream on Wednesday. We will have our usual panelists, which is Queen Charlotte and PD Rich. And then if you want to be a guest, and as I said, you have to have watched the episode. I'm not bringing anybody on if they haven't watched the episode. And I mean that. Don't. There's no point to you asking me to come on if you haven't watched it. I just want people on that have watched it so you can get the best. Well, in fairness, because the person has watched it, you will get their view and their opinion on it. And it won't be skewed by anybody else. It's the fact that they've watched it. So I want to make that clear. If you haven't watched it, you don't get on. It's as simple as that. So watch the episode, then you can come on. Because this time we're going to do, I did it during the Jodie Whittaker era anyway, but this time I'm definitely making sure everybody that comes on has watched the episode, because it's not fair, because there's a lot of people out there that do have opinion, and their voices should be the ones that should be heard, the ones that have actually watched it. I'm at work, that people should be left alone, so should be able to come on. Well, if you are, send me a DM. You all know where I am on X, so send me a DM if you're interested. I will send you an email if you say that you're going to come on. And it doesn't matter when you come on. We'll be streaming for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Anyway, won't be going over that. So if you're not in by the time we're wrapping up, unfortunately, that's it then, because then the next episode comes and all of that, and then we'll be getting ready for that. Don't forget Sony. Yeah, they've got a bit of Sony money, but Jesus, I think Disney have the more influence, Gobster. I think we both agree on that now. If you look at everything that's happened, I think Disney definitely have the bigger influence here, and that's what I'm worried about, and that's what a lot of us were worried about, was the Disney influence. How much would there be? How little? Would they have any influence at all? And then they came out and lied to us and told us that they didn't have any influence, so they lied. Is RTD revenging us for not accepting the timeless child? No, no, I would even have to say no there myself. I just think, I think what's happened here is he believes that he had to do what he had to do to get people to watch. But what I don't think he realizes is he's actually shot himself in the foot. What he needed to actually do was just make Doctor Who and not pander to anybody. I said that. Even us, not just write the best version of Doctor Who that you could write. The worst thing you could do is try to please everybody. That's exactly what he's tried to do. But he hasn't. So there you go. So that's the situation that everything is in. Media, of course, are starting their usual nonsense. They've been spinning their low ratings, and they'll continue to do that. And then, of course, you'll have piss baby woke reviews and all of those other gobshites coming out trying to spin this positively, and then go and attack other YouTubers because they have better opinions and basically have a different opinion to the the ideology and all of that. And yeah, and the BBC keep plugging that Doctor Who podcast crap with Juno Dawson and Crystal D and the bloke who I don't know who he is. So I know the other two because I had run-ins with the other two. But again, that wasn't going to get me to watch that podcast either. Like, I mean, you bring in people that are down with the message. You know where this is going, for fuck's sake. Even the people that are on the podcast are down with the message. It's all planned. We know what's happening here, right? We just thought he'd do it a little bit better than fucking Chris Chibnall, but right now, if you look at it, he's done a fucking worse job. He's done a fucking worse job. Pigeon would do a better job than he would. Actually, sorry, I'll say something that's going to really everybody's minds. I'd give the show back to Chris Chibnall. I wouldn't be giving it to Moffat. I don't trust Moffat. But you know what? This is going to be worse than Chib's era. Well, let's hope Sony fucking do something, because I tell you, I don't like this Disney deal. Crystal Day, man. I mean, she will make people chuckle, yeah. You know, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, she has me blocked, but I'm pretty sure if anybody's come out against the first episode, she's been on their back, because she has previous. That's what she does. You know, they just can't. And I mean, she came out with the comments. Oh, I can't wait. And this is a sign because remember, she's in the know. She's the podcast, right? But she did write up on either Instagram or Twitter, or whatever, which one she was on. And she says, after the Davros gate, she turned around and says, I can't wait to see future canon busting things that RT. So she knows already. She knows already that there are more stuff that's going to break canon, because she's already opened her mouth. Because what's wrong with these people is like, when they see you react negatively to something that they do, right, they like to stick it to you. So they let the cat out of the bag in a way. So she let the cat out of the bag when she wrote that tweet up, or something around. It was around canon busting stuff anyway. I don't know the exact quote, but she knows that there's more canon busting stuff. That's why she said she was looking forward to seeing it, because what she's looking forward to is not actually what RTD does that breaks canon. She's looking forward to the reaction of fans like us when they actually absolutely drag her show through the mud. And then she'll feed off that, all of that then. And then she'll start then reporting to the fandom, oh, they're all negative, they hate this, that, you know, like she did the last time. Right? And then on top of that, then you have Juno Dawson, who has caused controversy in many European countries because of this, the smut books that they put out. But RTD thinks that's okay for your kids to sit down and listen to a podcast to a person that has wrote the kind of disgusting books that you've seen that shouldn't even be taught to kids. And then they tried to say, oh, but it's for young adults, but they declassified young adults to make them younger. Young adults used to be 18, 21. That's what we used to classify young adults at, but they've moved the goalpost now and it's younger, apparently. They're not young adults, they're still fucking kids or teenagers, these fucking idiots. Right? So we know why Juno was there, right? Because, you know, we already had Yasmin Finney. Then now we have the drag act to come up, which is Jinx Monsoon. And remember Jinx Monsoon's famous podcast. This was the one that was telling everybody about their sex life and how someone left a condom up inside them. Like she thought that Jinx Monsoon thought that was appropriate listening. So this is who you have coming into the show now next, right? Also, Jinx signed a letter. Right, signed a letter when all of this, you know, gender stuff, parents were fighting against it. Signed a letter basically, oh, we know better than parents. You know, fuck all. You look like a creep anyway. The picture of you, you look like a fucking creep. And they'd be blowing smoke up that backside too. Let's hope it doesn't get lost. Fucking disgusting. Disgusting people we have fucking in our show. And it's the truth and it's the fact and it must be fucking called out. And you can call me all the names that you want because your names do fuck all to me anymore. Do you know what? Those 5 and 6 years of abuse, thank you. Thank fucking you very much. Every single fucking last one of years that threatened my life and did all the things that you did because you know what? You've made me immune to it now. Today, even today, people were threatening me. And do you know what they did? Just block, delete, because you aren't getting any reactions out of me anymore. You can threaten me all you want, right? You can wonder if I'm still alive and how I'm not dead and all of this other crap that just come out with earlier on in the week. Who gives a flying fucking fuck? I'll be here every step of the way. And every time he steps out of line with all of this gender fucking nonsense bullshit, I will be there to call a fucking out because it belongs nowhere in Doctor fucking Who. So you could take your ideology, right, your cult fucking mentality, right, and you can shove it where the sun don't shine because we don't want it in our show. We've had a fucking enough of your nonsense now, right? You either write Doctor Who the way it's supposed to be written, it's a sci-fi fucking show, or hand the fucking show over to someone that actually has half a brain and actually can fucking write a bit of fucking sci-fi. If not, shelve the fucking thing, cancel it, and stop putting it out of its fucking misery. So, I sound a bit disgruntled. No, I'm just sending a very clear and plain message to RTD that this is not going to work. It didn't work for Chibnall, and it's certainly not going to work for RTD. So, he's already shown his contempt towards fans, right? He's got people in positions that are doing these podcasts and other stuff that have abused fans in the past. He's got people in on the show, working, acting on the show, that have come out against fans. Right? So if he thinks that he's going to be able to get away with this, no. And this is why I'm not boycotting. Right? Because it's too late now. And anybody that's calling for a boycott, there's no point. Right? There's no point. Right? So there's only one more thing that you can do. Right? Well, there's two things you can do. You can turn your back and leave, and nobody blame you. Or you could do what you have always done. Go onto YouTube and tell the audience the truth about what's happening with this show. The more voices, the better. Seriously, in any fight, Gobster said it there. No boycott. Boycotts don't work. They work for certain things, but boycott is not going to work here. Right? So yeah, we've got to be smart. Right? Because look, we don't have to worry about the merchandise side of things. Right? The only people that buy the stuff connected to this 60th anniversary are the ones that are down with the gender cult, right? Not many fans is going to buy the stuff from that 60th anniversary, right? Not when they're being told, and the doctor. And by the way, remember I did tell you that, David's doctor was going to be like, handed a bit of a lesson. Well, it happened in the episode. I mean, there's worse to come as well. I mean, this doctor was only brought back because he's a favourite of most fans. And now what they're going to do is they're going to use him as a device for everybody to throw their fucking hate on. Oh, yeah, you presume someone's pronouns. You're a bad man. Oh, what would you know? You're a man. The woman doctor would have understood better. Oh, that's what he's going to be used for. But he's down with that. Remember that. So don't feel sorry for David Tennant, because David Tennant's down with that, right? Because his missus is really down with that. I mean, his missus is like, she's far beyond anything I've came across, right? And poor David Tennant, like, is now, because David Tennant wouldn't have been like this in the past, right? But now he's full on badges and fucking t-shirts and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's so don't feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for the character of the doctor that he played, because that version of the doctor is being dragged through the mud now, and he's going to be lectured to. And remember, Sylvia gave him an L. I mean, the doctor always got slapped, in fairness, though. So I can't really complain about that. That was some fucking slap. He's joined the establishment, is the way to put it. Exactly. He's down with it. He's down with it now. And apparently one of his kids or whatever, it's none of my business how people raise their kids, but I don't think any kid, personally speaking, should be discussing what they think their gender and all of this other nonsense is. Let them be kids, let them grow up and be themselves. And then when they get old enough to make those decisions, then if they believe that they're born in the wrong body, knock yourself out. But just don't fucking then impose your will and your beliefs on everybody else. And that's what he's doing. Tennant has tarnished his legacy. Maybe so. So has RTD, but I don't think RTD was already tarnishing his legacy as soon as he opened his fucking mouth. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think. Obviously, some of you write some lovely comments in the chat there. But leave a comment, because a lot of you have been leaving comments lately and stuff like that, and interacting in the chat with each other in the comment section, which is great. Leave your opinion. Let me know. Actually, I'll leave you with this, right? So the fourth special got over 5 million in the overnights. 5.08, I think it was, or it was 5.02. I'm not sure. I think it was 08. We'll be generous, right? What do you think the overnights will be for Wild Blue Yonder? Yes, I said it right for once. Yeah. Anyway, yes. I mean, some of these, Jesus, they always used to do with some of these fucking titles in the episodes. But no. Jay jumped in there. Hey, in the comment section when I leave, mate. But there you go. You started off now, so I have to read them fucking out now, don't I? Right, JWC Reviews thinks it will go down to 4.7 million, which I think is probably around about, and Melon Rattler, not to be confused with the other melons, but melons, actually real melons. They say 4.6. I think 4.7, 4.6, 4.5, around that mark would be. Gobster thinks it'll be 4.3 maybe. Scottish Stavros 3.4. Bobby says under 5. Maybe a good million drop, says Peter. Jesus, that will be. If a million do drop off, we have to check with the Whitakers era. I think if a million drop off, it'll be the second biggest drop off of an episode, I think, because Whitaker's first did well, but the second one, then it didn't get as many viewers, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. Someone will have to remind me. Remember, forget about the consolidated and the 28 day. The real fruit of the pudding has always been the overnights. Overnights matter even though during the Jodie Whittaker era, they tried to make it out to you that overnights didn't count. Overnights are the big thing here. Forget about all the other nonsense that comes. The overnights is what counts. So we got a 4.7 by Cinnamon. We got CD in the chat with a 4 million. He thinks it'll be a million drop as well. Cinnamon thinks it'll be a slight decrease. 20% is a. I didn't realize the ratings would be so low. Well, neither did I, because I originally the night before gave it 8.2. And I thought if it got around the 8 million mark, that would be considered a success considering what happened the previous 5 years. But to come in at just over 5 million, even I was like, because yes, the messaging is heavy, right? Is it the best Doctor Who episode ever? No. But there was more good than bad. It was just the messaging is so bad, and so I'll get into it on Wednesday. But I mean, and some of the acting as well, I wasn't happy with, which I'll get into. But in fairness, I even said it, that night. Was it the worst Doctor Who that I've watched in 5 years? No, I don't think it was. But that messaging needs to, if it's just, it was even more over the top than Chibs. And I never thought I'd say that. But it really was. And it was done badly. And you will get me point to talk about Root Madley and I talk about Yasmin Finney, whether you agree whether those characters should be in Doctor Who or not or whatever, right? I'm coming at it from a different perspective, right? So I'll talk about that on Wednesday, right? Because there's a lot I have to get off my chest. You know what I mean? And it's mostly aimed at RTD because he's an absolute disgrace when you actually, when I explain to you, you'll understand why I think he's an absolute disgrace. It's like I'm sick and tired of these showrunners coming in and saying they're going to do all of this for all of these different groups, and then they don't actually do it the way they should be doing it. And I'll give examples on Wednesday anyway of what happened in the Star Beast, and I'm pretty sure the panel will feel the same fucking way. And of course, as I said, I did like some of it, so I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I thought it was a total write-off. I don't think it was a total write-off, but at the same time, you can't continue like that. I mean, that's not, you can't. You just can't, because we can't go through this again. It has to be written properly. It has to be done with respect. And you're going to introduce characters like Root Madley's character, and you're going to introduce Yasmin Finney. Well, then I would suggest that you use them more. I would suggest that you treat them with a little bit of fucking respect rather than, I'll say no more because I'll get angry. Anyway, join me Wednesday for that. And for now, I'm going to leave it there. I can't be on the panel. Sadly, I'm doing something else. Look, obviously, when the 3 specials drop, any person that hasn't come on to the panels because of obviously different commitments and stuff like that, when the 3 episodes are finally done, we will do a panel where we will reflect on all 3 episodes then. And then anybody that hasn't been able to make any of the panels, I'll make sure that I make it at a time that tries to suit everybody. So we will do a kind of a revision of the 3 episodes with a whole panel. Yes, a post-mortem, basically. Yeah. So anybody that hasn't been able to come on to any of me regular panels, then you can come on to that one, right? Areas or grievances, or whether you liked it. Remember, if there are people out there that did like it, you're more than welcome to come on once you're not hurling abuse. I don't mind bringing anybody on here. Let me know why you liked it. So you're more than welcome to join. So let me know. I'll let you know when that happens. Obviously, after the last one drops, then we'll make a date and a time for that other one, and then we'll get everybody on that hasn't been able to come on. And Well, you go and do that, Daniel, and enjoy yourself. But I would say to people, look, if you are finished with Doctor Who, just move on. Then there's no point to keep bringing it up all the time if you have moved on. You know what I mean? There'll be people out there that, like myself, that will be blasting this to the high hell, right? If you're done with the show, don't put yourself through any more misery. I'll say that to anybody out there. There's no point to keep talking about it on social media either. If you're really done and all of that, then people should just walk away. And there's no shame in that. But the thing about it is they're doing yourselves no favors. And I see a lot of people out there doing this. These are saying these are finished, but you continue to talk about it. Well, then just move on to the other stuff that makes you happy and just forget about the show and enjoy the memories that you've had. As I said, there's some of us here that just can't move on. And I'll openly admit that. Right? This is a show I hold fucking dear and I'm going to fight for it. But if some of you have lost the fight and you don't have the stomach for it anymore, that's fine. I get all of that. But there's no point to keep bringing up that you're not going to watch the show. Because I see it from here. Oh, I'm not watching anymore. Right, well then move on then. Do something else then. And enjoy doing that. And don't keep upsetting yourself and getting yourself annoyed over it. I choose now, if this is the way I'm looking at it now. If I complain and moan about this show moving forward, or I have got things to praise, and hopefully I do, right? I've chosen that. I've chosen to be here now to do that. Yous have made the choice that you don't want to. So just fucking move on, everybody, and just enjoy the stuff that you like doing. Yous will always have yous our classic era. Yous will always have yous our new Who, if yous like whatever, whenever the show stops for yous. Yous will always have that no matter what they do here. So it's time for people to let go if they're letting go. If you're not going to let go, don't pretend that you're letting go and then talk about it every 5 minutes. Get on to fucking YouTube and talk about it then. But all of this has to stop. It's not doing anybody any good. It's not doing you any good, and it's not doing the people that, are still fighting the corner any good. Because we hear it all before. We've heard it all before, right? Even from me, I was saying I was giving up on the show, this, that, and the other, and I went back on it, right? I'm openly saying I went back on it, right? I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up this fight. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving because they want me to leave, right? I'm not leaving because they're telling me that it's not my show anymore, right? And I'm not going to give those people the satisfaction of seeing me walk out the door and hand in my TARDIS keys. People will choose what they want to do, right? And if you want to leave, as I said, great. Stop talking about the show and do yourselves a favour and move on. Because if you let it consume you, which I have let this consume me, I'm at a place now where this is not going to consume me. I can look at this now differently than I did when I did the Jodie Whittaker era, right? I have no emotional attachment to this show right now, right? And that's why I know I can do this time. And I have to worry about the bullshit that comes my way. Because I have no emotional attachment anymore. But I'm not going to give those fuckers the satisfaction of saying, well, you're no longer wanted in this fandom. Without us, you wouldn't have a fucking show. Without the fans that stuck by this show for 60 years, the solid fucking foundation, you wouldn't have a show. Right? And without that foundation, and that foundation is crumbling, by the way, even after the first episode, you're going to lose everything. Oh, they don't care. Listen, they could call me all the names they want. They've been calling me names from fucking day one, right? Let them. They're hurty words. It's what I should have fucking learned all those years ago. They're hurty words. If you let hurty words hurt you, they'll hurt you. That's the point. If you let these words, all of these names that they call you, if you let that hurt your feelings, then they'll keep doing it. Right? So you know, it is difficult. Look, I've been through it now. So, you know, it's not easy. I know it's not. But you got, like, I mean, I see people that I know getting attacked on Twitter, and I just feel like saying to them, you know, well, if you didn't kind of get yourself involved in their conversation, you wouldn't be getting picked on. So will you just fucking leave it out? Like, you know what I mean? Just walk a fucking way. Hurty fucking words, that's all they are. Listen, there's been threats made on me life, for God's sake. Do you think I'm going to be worried about hurty words? Gone past that. They could say whatever the fuck they want. Hurty words. Oh. Right. Sticks and stones won't break my fucking bones. I can tell you fucking that. What do you think of RTD telling fans to F off? Well, what do you think? How would you like say, I don't know if you have other shows that you like, but say you were a fan of Star Wars, right? Like everybody seems to be, right? And the showrunner told you to go and fuck yourself because you had a different opinion. You believe that the droids should be this way, but showrunner tells you, oh no, these are the new droids. And you say, well, I disagree with that. And he went and told you to F off. How would you feel? How would you think anybody would feel being told to fuck off? I mean, if you're a showrunner, director, or someone in the public eye, right, and this was said to me years ago, right, and it's true though, but it is true. If you're in the public eye, you're going to take some stick. You're going to get some criticism. But it's how you handle that. And in the past, I didn't handle it very well. Well, I'll admit that. I didn't handle it very well. But I handle it well now. They're only hurty words. Hurty words can't do anything to you. It's a pity it took me 3-4 years to figure that fucking out. But hurty words, they're hurty words. Forget about it. Do nothing. I'm a fan of Star Wars, and I've watched my beloved franchise be destroyed by Disney. And the left, I can only imagine how Doctor Who fans feel. Your show is being absolutely destroyed. Well, I mean, you know, we've been saying this for years. Our show has actually gone through more trauma than Star Wars and Star Trek. But of course, those fans would disagree with us. But if you look at what Chris Chibnall done at the time, this children and all that other nonsense, he absolutely destroyed it. Like, he destroyed Doctor Who's canon in a 30-second, or less than a minute. It took him to completely destroy a show. Chris Chibnall is the OG Thanos, right? He's the original. He's done more damage than Kurtzman and all of these other gobshites like Kathleen Kennedy that everybody bangs on about. And now RTD looks like he's going to continue that. Doctor Who is in far more of a state than those other two franchises. Those other two franchises, they could scratch off and start again. Can't with Doctor Who. It has a continuing history, 60 years. You change one, it changes fundamentally everything that happened with the show. And then when you start messing around with the main character, it was less than that, Daniel. Think about it. It was less than that because, like, we got she injects the kid regenerates, and then we see that scene. That was a 30-second scene. That scene alone, 30 seconds it took. Less than a minute to destroy Doctor Who. And now Disney have a hold of our show now. And they love destroying franchises. And now they've got their little grubby hands on Doctor Who. Now, Gobster said Bad Wolf may be the stumbling block in Sony, which I hope they fucking are. Because if Disney were to get more of their hooks into this show, it's over. Well, it already is over, in my opinion, I think. But I think for the ones that been hanging on and hoping and praying that this show gets better. And that's the sad thing, because I was one of those as well. And I kind of still am, if you kind of look at it, because I'm still watching, is we still hope. Like, we still hope that someone will come in and do right by this show. And that's the heartbreaking thing about it. Is because no matter what I say, I can't let go. And I did originally say that I'd be here until it all got better. I wouldn't go anywhere. I'd keep fighting for it. But 6 years down the line, we still got nowhere. Time for boycotts is over. And if this rumour is true, though, this one about David Tennant's doctor not regenerating because he's going to be still around, I mean, it's done. It's done. That alone, forget about the timeless children. If that is the truth, and that's why Shooty's doctor's going, what the hell is going on here? Because David Tennant's doctor is standing right in front of him. Because now they found a new method of regenerating. Then it's done. It's done. Conspiracy theory: RTD was directing Chibnall behind the scenes, waiting till he got the deal with Disney so he could take over and continue himself, but with more money and narcissism. And evening. I don't know, man. But you know what? That's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Well, we will find out soon enough what happens in the next episode. Of course, catch me on Sunday for that. And I will be doing it in the afternoon. I'll try get it out as early. I think we did the last one at 2. Was it 2 or 3? I think I did it at. So it'll be probably mid-afternoon. So come and join me. I'll do watch along. That's the watch along on Sundays. I wait for the night before, or the night after, I should say, to do it. So come and join me for that. And then on Wednesdays, then we will have the review panels for each episode. And then when the 3 episodes have dropped, and then we know exactly what the fuck has happened, we will do then an old post-mortem examination on everything that we've just seen. And we'll have people on that we haven't had on, and some of the regulars that we have had on as well over time. So listen, guys, we'll see what happens, but I have to say, the next episode worries me. It really does. And by the way, what I thought was stupid is Donna spilled coffee, and then the whole TARDIS went up in flames. I mean, the console went up in flames, and I know, seriously, I know maybe she wasn't responsible for the TARDIS going like that. I do believe there was another force controlling the TARDIS there, which we all know who that's going to be. And the so-called cryptic fucking message at the end of the episode was so fucking. I mean, this is Doctor Who for dummies. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny anymore. I mean, what's happened? We were watching The Mind Robber the other day. Mind Robber, like, and the writing, top notch, acting, top notch, practical effects, shy, right? Sets, bit ropey looking, but writing, absolutely terrific, man. Absolutely brilliant. And it's gone from that to this. Right? The show looks better. Great. Right? But the writing's still as bad as it fucking was. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna say this. I did say this. The Wilf cameo is what I'm kind of, it's the one thing that I'm really am actually looking forward to seeing, because you know Wilf, I don't care what anybody says, he's you know what, he was one of those characters that would have made an absolutely brilliant companion, even at the age that he was. um and it's gonna be it's gonna be sad, because when they referenced him in the first episode, I was like, oh man, we all know he's not here. It's the only thing that I'm looking forward to, because I want to see that cameo. I want to see how well it's done, you know, because they knew he was sick when he was there, and apparently he wanted to do it. So they knew he wasn't well. He actually wasn't well, and he still wanted to do this. So it's his last ever appearance. So it's the one thing that I'm looking forward to, actually. But I hope they don't ruin it with some fucking messaging nonsense. This, you know what I mean? Anyway, I gotta leave it there. Gobstar says great stream. Thank you guys. You've all been brilliant. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section if you want. If there's anything I've said here that you agree or disagree with, let me know in the chat. Of course, as I said, even if you dislike this stream, that's fine, fair enough. Hit that dislike button, because it all fucking helps. You think I care? Well, it's good for the algorithm, so help. And if you want to call me all the names under the sun, go ahead. It'll just be put into protect. But still, again, all of that shit helps with the algorithm. So if you want to get nasty with me, go ahead. And for all of you that want to put up a comment or whatever you want to do in relation to the stream, go ahead, knock yourselves out. Really appreciate all the support over these. You can see I have a big smile on me. I've gotten to this point in my life where I'm just, there are bigger things going on in me actual country that I'm more concerned about. So see this shit here, not this is us having a laugh, me airing a few grievances, and letting you guys have your opinion as well. And I love you all. You are brilliant, I have to say. And thank you for everybody that's come back to support me. I know you didn't agree with me boycott some of yous, but I tried. Me and Gobster, we tried, and we tried to get everybody to come with us, but nobody was listening. So do you know what? If we're gonna go down, if Doctor Who is gonna go down like the fucking Titanic, we're gonna go down with it. That's what we're going to do. No, sorry, I'll rephrase. We're going to be the fucking iceberg that brings down the fucking Titanic. And I can't wait. Yeah, you shouldn't have pandered. You should have fucking kept it to Dr. fucking Who. Anyway, bye-bye. Hold on. I have to take that comment off the fuck, because that looked fucking weird, won't it? 4 million. They'll be saying, what's going on here with the 4 million? Yeah. 4 million. But again, just if you are listening to RTD, the only spin-off that's worth adding is this one here. Yeah. Right. But what you do is you bring Deadpool, right? You bring Deadpool in, and you come back, right? Because you have no respect for any of the previous Doctors that came before. You could get Deadpool to go murder them all. Then you'll have no problem with canon, because you can just kill them all. Do you know what I mean? Then shoot, he can be the Force Doctor then you can actually have it as shoot, he's the Force Doctor because you got Deadpool to erase all the other Doctors from history. There. I couldn't help it. Sorry, man. Right. I'll see you after. Have a good one. I'm going to have a bit of a chuckle to myself now for no fucking particular reason. I've lost the plot. I've lost it. My marbles have finally fucking rolled away somewhere. I'll have to go and pick them up. But anyway, here's which trailer? Oh yeah, it's the TARDIS Zone Talks one. Here we go. Jesus Christ.